Alright guys, quick one here. Somebody in my community was having a problem with trying to separate their shadow from their object when they're trying to do like a VFX shot or something in Octane. So I'm going to quickly show you how you can set up render layers to separate your shadow and to separate your object so you can recomposite them again in Nuke or After Effects or DaVinci Resolve. Here we go. Alright, so quickly what I'm going to do here, for those of you who do have it in the community, this is the new Blender Octane setup scene. So all the passes are set up and ready to go. If not, for those of you guys in YouTube, I'll quickly show you how we set it up. First thing, I'm going to add in a plane. Here is going to be the plane. We're going to scale that up. Go ahead and turn this on. There is the shadow, and here is the object. Actually, I'm going to delete that object, and I'm going to add in a Suzanne head because that object is not going to show up in the render. That is just for reference. So there is our Suzanne head. Now what I'm going to do is, anytime you're doing any type of VFX shot, also make sure your background is in alpha mode, alpha channel. That takes away our background. Good. Isolate it. So basically we want to take this and separate it from everything else and then have just the shadow also by itself. The easiest way to do this is if you come into your compositing tab, and you can see I already have all of these set up here in the new Blender Octane starter kit file. So for those of you who do not have this, what you're going to need to do is just come down in here. You're going to make a new one of these, which is very simple. You just click on quick add node tree. It will populate these two nodes. And then what you need to do is just come in here and you're going to click on one of these. I already have these connected, but I'll just show you. Click on one, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to go to render layer. And if you want black shadow layer, or if you want shadow layer, or if you want layer reflections, this is coming out of the rendered layer system, right? I already have that connected. If you look here, it should be right here. Black layer shadows, rendered layers, and reflections. Again, like I said, I already have it set up. So that's all you need to set up. And once you have that set up, you'll see this on the cycles in all of these passes, and you'll probably see there it is, layer shadows, black layer shadows, and reflection. Then you can hook up your PNG or your EXR if you want to separate that file. So that will be on the back end. Then we come back over to the viewport. Make sure you enable the render layer system. You come over to view layers, and then right here you'll see Octane render layers, view layers. Go ahead and tick that. Now it is activated. If we scroll that down, you see we have normal, active layer ID 1, and then invert. And there's some other stuff you can hide inactive. I normally don't use it. I just leave it as normal. And in this case, I want to have anything that's on layer 1 will be its own layer, and then something on layer 2 will be its own layer. And if I invert it right now, layer 2, this is taking away everything. But how do we isolate just Suzanne? It's super easy. Leave Suzanne on number 1. Take my ground plane because I want to put this on a separate rendered layer. Give that channel ID 2, and then from there, now the ground plane disappears. Right? Actually, hang on. Sorry. Set this back to 1. I'm on the wrong one here. Make sure you click on the ground plane and click on the properties, object properties. Scroll down. Here you go. Object render layer ID. Set that to 2. All right, now that disappears because that is, why did it disappear? Because right now we are only viewing the active render layer 1, which is Suzanne head. If you want to see what's on layer 2, you go layer 2. There is layer 2, and you can see it's cutting out Suzanne because she is not part of this layer. There is the shadows and everything else. So you can also come in here and start to play with this, like hide from camera. So now she hides it from the camera. It's only showed side effects, or hide inactive layer. These are just a few more options, but I'm just gonna leave it on normal, and I'm gonna set this back to 1, all right, because this is everything I wanted to do. Now we'll go ahead and save this, and then all I'm gonna do is just render this layer, render this file, and we don't see the ground plane, which is good because that's being rendered on a separate layer in the background. So now it is complete, but we don't see the extra, where's the shadow layer? Come over here to composite, go to view layers, and then again, you won't see all of these, you'll only see render layers, the ones that you activated. So here is my layered shadows. There it is. This is just a white background. You'll have to multiply this and do some math, or you have the option to do black layered shadows. Now it's the alpha, and here's the black layer shadow just by itself, and then even layer reflections. So there's a reflection pass too, even right there. So from there, then you would just go ahead and export that out as a multi-EXR if you want. Or like I showed you, you can just connect up your passes and actually render them out individually. And that's how you basically set up render layers, the render layer IDs inside of Blender Octane. If you guys looking for more help like this, definitely take a look at my Blender Octane School community, where I help people with questions just like this and be part of an engaging community. Blender Octane, this is the way. Peace.